Bryan Nale, your local experts on all things real estate in Middle Tennessee. Listen in as they discuss the current state of the market, the latest trends, and have a little fun while doing it. We do want to say the opinions voiced on this podcast are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individuals. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another week of This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, where we put the fun in dysfunctional. Oh, shoot.
Dysfunctional all day long, especially today. My shoulder is hurting today. Have I mentioned that?
Yes.
I haven't heard you say that yet.
You haven't? Yeah, I'm going to go see Dr. Noah over at Borough Chiropractic. Shout out to him. Everybody keeps saying he's a good guy, and I keep saying I don't really care if he's a good guy. I just want him to fix my shoulder. So hopefully he can do both, right? Fix my shoulder and be a good guy.
Yeah, I bet he can do both.
Well, we'll see. I'll report back next week.
Let us know.
Okay, I will. Hey, and Dr. Noah, if you're watching, which I doubt you are because you're probably helping other people, I tell all.
It's got a big mouth.
I got a big mouth.
Big mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I drink a lot of caffeine, so, you know, I talk a lot and fast. Anyway, so, hi, Bryan.
Hey, Jonathan.
How the heck are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Hey, studio audience.
We do have a live studio audience. This is pretty fantastic. Missy's over there, and Trent's over here fixing a camera. And I'm sorry, I forgot.
Gideon.
Gideon.
Yeah.
That's right, with
Yeah.
like the Bibles.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know what a Gideon Bible is? Yes. Okay.
I bet he does.
Outstanding. I bet he does. Yep. Very good. Anyway, we're going to talk about real estate today. We're going to talk about rates. We're going to talk about activity. I've got a boatload of numbers for you. So if you like numbers, get ready. If you don't like numbers, get ready, I guess.
Boats are fun.
We're in trouble today.
Have you seen the viral reels that went out this week about the guys that are just they've had way too much fun out on the lake and they're trying to get their boat out of the water and they're going up the boat ramp. It's a series of 4 reels and you got to watch them all to get the full experience. But if you watch one, get ready because now your algorithm's gonna think that you're a boater and it's gonna fill your feed up with all the boating videos.
Do you know what some of my favorite reels are? Have you seen the guys that go and put lawn chairs on the boat ramps and applaud people that are trying to get their boats out of the water?
This is kind of like what that is.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite part of this video is that there's this guy's like on the dock videoing these people trying to get the thing up, and obviously he's there at the marina a lot because somebody walks down the dock and he looks over and he sees the guy filming and goes, "Oh, sorry, Mark," as he's walking through the shot.
Oh, that's funny. No, listen, I think that you should have to get multiple endorsements on your driver's license. Okay,
Yeah.
just like commercial,
Yeah.
like
pull
a
a boat,
CDL.
get an endorsement.
But, hey, if you're gonna pull a trailer, if you're gonna drive anything bigger than a Fiat, if you're gonna, if your car sits more than 6 inches off the ground, if your car is more than 20 feet long, whatever, you should have to have a specific endorsement for that. That's my opinion. It ought to be yours.
It ought to be yours too.
Yeah.
Let's move to headlines.
Let's do it. All right, headlines. I got this.
Back to you.
That's lovely. All right, so what we're going to talk about is listings that are active on the market in Rutherford County right now. Like I literally just pulled the numbers right now, unless it changed in the last 4 minutes.
Folks, this is as real time as you could ask for.
As real time as you can ask for. So, Rutherford County, when I got into real estate, which is back in 2009, it was very much a suburb type place, very blue collar. I think I remember the first time I ever saw $1 million listing, right? Like they just didn't exist here,
Yeah.
right? You had a handful of $1 million homes that people custom built, something along those lines. And most, like my first house, pretty nice house, $155,000.
Yeah.
Right. And so you could buy a starter house. You could buy a starter house in Christiana when I started in real estate for like 70.
Yeah, easy all day long.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've gone and I've pulled all of the listings. So Bryan, I'm just curious, what do you think a starter house in Rutherford County costs now? So the same house, right?
Yeah.
Still a starter house, say 1,100 to 1,300 square feet.
Before I answer that question, I will
Single family, not attached.
I was say before I answer that question, I want to say I have a contract that came to me on Friday, and it is a purchase price of $176,000
In Rutherford County?
in Murfreesboro city limits.
You're not going to be able to do it.
Why?
Because there's no, unless it's a condo.
It is a condo.
Okay. I would say otherwise, it's not going to pass any type of an inspection.
Yeah.
It's going to, it's going to have no floor in it or something.
Sometimes you get appraisal waivers.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
We've got that one right now.
Yeah,
Right?
I know. That's a fair point. But anyway, all right. What do you think a starter house, not a fixer upper and not a condo?
Not a condo. 360.
You're probably not wrong. You can probably get in for maybe even 325.
Okay.
Maybe. The views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent reality all the time. All right, so here you go. Under $200,000 in all of Rutherford County. Okay.
Condos.
All of Rutherford County, under $200,000. How many listings are there?
4.
Nailed it. That is correct. There are 4.
I know 2 came on the market last week, and one of them's under contract with my buyer.
There are I'm not counting the under contracts.
Okay.
So there are 4 available right now. The cheapest dwelling in Rutherford County is $134,900, and it is a trailer that there's no way you can get financing on. It's impossible.
Yeah.
The trailer itself is built in the 70s. It's on a rented lot.
It's not. That's not real property. How's that on real tracks? It's not even real property.
Well, anyway, that's a whole other story. And so it's 2 trailers and 2 townhouses.
Yeah,
that's the 4.
2 townhouses or 2 condos? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a.
I know. I don't know if I don't know if these specifically. I didn't look that close.
I bet you at least one of them, unless it also went under contract last week, is a condo. And the difference.
There's not that many condo developments in Rutherford County.
There are a few though.
Not a ton.
The ones next to your house on Main Street.
They are, and Mercury Manor
and Sanborn Hall.
Yep.
There's a few.
I think one of them is Sanborn.
And so, that's under contract, I believe.
I think there's another one.
There's another one.
And,
anyway,
and I think there's one in the columns, which is right next to it.
For folks listening, the difference really when it comes down to it is the way that I look at it is if I'm trying to figure out, is this a realtor who just put townhouse or just put condo in the remarks on their listing, when in fact it's a townhouse? I look to see, do they own the dirt underneath the improvement, and if they own the dirt
and the airspace above,
then it's a townhome and it's not a condo.
Mm-hmm.
And those terms just get thrown around loosely, but they shouldn't, because they are significantly different in how they're approached when it comes to financing.
Significant difference. That's right.
And it really gets down to the risk that the lender's taking on when it comes to, do you actually own the property that building sits on? Right.
All right. We're going to go in $100,000 strata, and we're going to go kind of fast, okay?
Yeah.
200 to 300, 60 listings. There is one of those that is a single-family detached home.
Yeah.
1 out of 60.
Okay.
Everything else is trailers and townhouse condos. 300 to 400, 275 listings. So we go from 4 to 60 to 275. So all your starter homes are in that 300 to 400 category. There are a handful that are in the 400s as well, like above that.
Yeah.
But 300 to 400. So that is your West Fork. That is all those neighborhoods out in Christiana. That is, the lion's share of Laverne.
Yeah.
All of those types of homes. 400 to 500K, 308 listings. 500 to 600K, 206. Okay. 600 to 700, 130 listings. 700 to 800, there's 52. 800 to 900, there's 41. You ready for this? Above 900K, there's 96 listings.
That does not surprise me. I was ready for that number to be higher than the 2 strata.
71 of them are above $1 million.
Yeah.
71 homes in Rutherford County listed right now above $1 million. I literally remember seeing one
Yeah.
ever, and going, whoa, there's $1 million home for sale in Rutherford County,
There's buyers for them. They will,
and they're
will
not
sell.
financing.
Yeah.
That's cash buyers at that price. Now check this out: the highest listing price. Okay, so there's two that are higher than this, but I disqualified them because they're trying to sell them really as commercial development. Okay, so forget those.
Yeah.
What's the highest purely residential price point in Rutherford County listed right now? What is it?
Is the Adams house still on the market over there? Okay.
This blew my mind.
$4 million.
5.7.
Wow.
5.7 in Rutherford
How
County.
many acres?
It's like 20.
Yeah, so it's got some land, and it's probably got a really nice home.
11,000 or so square feet, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Rutherford County.
I wish we ought to be able to pull that up and show it. Can we do that?
I don't know. Maybe.
But people would like to see that.
Can we do that, Trent?
Yeah.
Can you pull it up?
What's the?
Give me 1 sec. I'll get it for you. I need to move this over. Live. This is live podcasting right here, folks.
That's what we're here for.
That's right.
The entertainment.
$5 million.
Well, and while you're pulling this up, I'll say there's some new construction stuff that's custom that isn't really going to be on Real Tracks that are going to probably tease that price point too. Mm-hmm. So that's what's interesting to watch is some of these custom builds.
I'm wrong.
Okay.
3,100 square feet on 35.6 acres.
Okay.
$5.69 million.
What's the MLS number?
258-3523.
Whoever the listing agent is, you're welcome for the free marketing.
That's right.
Free pub here.
Yep. I don't know him, but Michael, you're welcome.
Last name?
Goodvangen? I don't know how to, I hope I pronounced that correctly.
So it's out in Eagleville.
Yep. Alisona Road. So this neighborhood, if I remember correctly, this is is it Magnolia Farms? No, it's next to Magnolia Farms. So Magnolia Farms is like this cool little valley, and it's like an equestrian property. You have a central horse barn. So this looks like it's next to that, perhaps.
So look at the private remarks. I don't know if we should say this out online or not, since it's private remarks, but it's it looks like they're selling this as a home, but also a wedding venue.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah. Should we look at the gallery?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, well, that changes my perspective just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still a commercial property.
That's really nice. That's beautiful.
It's not a big wedding venue.
No, but it's nice.
Sweet caddy.
I'm going to say, do you get the car?
Interesting.
Okay. Well, let me back off of that one then, because...
Right. Do we have a different one?
Yeah, let's see here.
How do I get up? Does that say close?
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if this is, like, frowned upon with truck.
What's that? It's not selling it as commercial. I mean, you could live there.
No, I meant just doing this on a live stream.
Oh, I don't know. Here we go. Is this one pure? Yes. Okay. Also in Eagleville. That's interesting. 251-3189.
Oh, snap.
Beautiful home.
All right, 6,000 square feet, 43 acres. That's a really pretty house. It looks old, but it was actually built in 2018.
Oh, sorry.
Which is pretty cool. That's a nice place.
Look at that tract of land. It's crazy.
Here's the thing about Eagleville, and people don't think about this. You know, Eagleville touches Marshall County, Williamson County, right? So you got College Grove, you got Arrington's right there. So, you know, for folks that want to do the Williamson County thing, but maybe they're doing a private school, something like that for the kiddos, or they just want to be close, Eagleville's a great location.
Area. Yeah.
So, like, this house might be, you know, double the price if you go into Williamson County with that type of land.
Easy.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Easily.
I'll say this: my family is not clean enough to live in a home like this.
That's like so pristine.
I hear it.
All right.
That's beautiful. So there you go, folks. The most expensive $3.5 million is the most expensive purely residential
And that gets you how many square feet and 43 acres?
6,000 square feet, 43 acres.
It's nice. Very good.
All right.
There you go. Okay.
Now we know.
If you'd like to go see this house and you are a qualified buyer, please give me a.
So we get to go from looking at houses like that and those kinds of pictures to yes, it's real.
Yes. Yes. That was real. And so is that. Wow.
Yes. Yes, this is real.
That'd take a lot of time to get that tile work put in. I mean, that's very detailed. Talk about a throne. You have to step up to it.
I am. So, legit question. Is this in the United States?
Kansas City, supposedly.
It looks Moroccan to me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe someone from Morocco moved to Kansas City.
I like the contrast too, because you can see from the corners of the picture that you're coming into it from a wall space that's painted yellow.
Ketchup and mustard.
There's this is a Jimmy Buffett song. Mustard and relish, Heinz 57, French fried potatoes.
This is god awful.
This is the first one in 2 or 3 weeks that you have not liked.
Where are the blinds?
It didn't convey.
The blinds, you don't have to have blinds because if you look through that window, you're going to be blinded. Oh, is that a blood drop or is that like a red avocado?
Oh, I don't know.
You really hate this one.
It's terrible.
There's no redemption.
No, it's
there.
terrible.
The edges look really rough, too.
Yeah.
I don't see anywhere for toilet paper.
And there's an electric cord going into the bathtub because if you buy this, you don't want to kill yourself.
I was wondering what that is. I don't see a faucet. I don't see a way
Where's
to fill
the
the
sink?
tub.
I guess the sink's over to the other
Yeah.
side.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure in the listing it says, "Don't worry, being repaired."
Yeah.
no. And the listing
Missy-
says
Missy said this might be the same house with the sad fan.
with the what?
With the sad fan.
Oh,
That was funny.
wow.
Well,
Same.
Yeah.
that window looks like it opens too. It's like a sliding window,
Oh, it does.
so you could escape.
I would need to. Red is a color that's supposed to make you angry, right? It's angry or hungry.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
love?
no, like you paint dining rooms.
What about love? Yeah. What about love?
Forget love. Love stinks. Yeah, love hurts. Love stinks. Whatever, right? Are we gonna go J Giles band or are we gonna go Nazareth? Whichever. But anyway, yeah, you paint dining rooms red because it's a gustatory color.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a pro tip.
There you go. Oh, we are struggling today, y'all. All right,
Thanks for sticking with us if you're still watching.
market movers.
Let's go. Oh, gosh. All right.
So it's interesting because this could have easily been a headline, but I like us talking about this as a market mover because Freddie Mac every week they set out an interest rate report and they conglomerate all the interest rates for all of the different loans that were closed in the previous week. So this data kind of lags. It's usually by the time that report comes out, the market has moved, and so it's not like an accurate real time reflection. But it's interesting to read this because the Freddie Mac report showed that interest rates were the lowest since mid-March, the lowest they'd reported since mid-March, but application demand is about 5% below where it was in the spring. So when I read this, I started thinking, okay, well, why is that? What's happening in the market that has caused rates to start to fall and application demand to be lower? And I think of a primary driver is something we've talked about the last few weeks, and that's seasonality. In the spring, people are gearing up. They're like, hey, we want to buy a house this summer, we want to move this summer. So they can go ahead and buy a house in April or May and know that they'll be in the school district they want to be in come August.
Yes.
So I think that's part of it. And we've talked about how seasonality is.
And here's the
coming
thing,
back.
that is a thing. The only time that it wasn't was in, like the last 3 years.
Right.
And not
Absolutely.
even the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Go backwards 2 years
Yeah.
and then the 3 years prior to that.
And
That's it. That's the only window where we didn't really have seasonality.
So the other thing that I was reading in this article was that it could also have to do with home prices because home prices have continued to go up. The little bit of because when we say lowest since mid-March, we're not talking about a catastrophic or not a significant decrease in rates, but they're still the lowest they've been in 6 months. But it's not like they've just fallen off the table,
Right.
So home prices have continued to go up through this whole period of time, and so even though rates are down lower, there's the savings isn't really there because you're still paying more for the house, and that supports something else that we've been saying for a couple of years, and that's when rates start to fall, we'll see home prices maybe go up. At this point, they've kind of stabilized, and home prices aren't significantly running away. But I think if the rates continue to drop, you'd see home prices take another step forward.
Well, it's interesting. So I actually this is what I wrote out for my pro tip is this exact topic.
Yeah.
So we're going to skip ahead for just a minute, and then we just won't do a pro tip. How about that?
Trent, are you okay with that?
No, don't play it. We'll just do it. How about that? So, kind of dovetailing with that, we have been saying this for a long time that once rates start dropping, we're going to see pent up demand kind of come in. Well, they've dropped a little bit,
but the pent up demand isn't there. And I'll say this: I think the third component of this, I think, is that as rates have started to come down, people are saying, "Well, I don't want to buy at the very first step. I'm going to wait. Maybe if I wait a little bit longer into the fall, then I'll be able to get an even better rate." If there's all this talk right now in the media of what the Federal Reserve is supposed to do, and possibly in July, probably not, but in September for sure, the market's expecting a rate cut. And I think people in their minds think, well, if that happens, mortgage rates will continue to fall. Mortgage rates will go down lower.
Well, I
the
think
mortgage market might be pricing that in already.
Yes, and I think that I think they probably are. I think there's still people that think that prices are going to drop.
Yeah.
I think that still happens. When are we going to see prices drop? We're not, y'all.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
So the whole rate manipulation that's been happening has not been to bring prices down. It's been to slow down the increases in prices.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And so, what we're seeing, and I'll just throw some numbers out there.
Pro tip.
Prices are up 1% from 60 days ago to 30 days ago. So in 30 days, they've gone up another percent, right? Meanwhile, closings are down 31% June over June. So we're doing fewer, significantly a third less business, but prices are still going up, right? So it's not like we have demand that's driving prices up. Prices are still going up. Now we've slowed it down because they're at the peak of our market, we were doing 3.5% a month appreciation. We're only doing 1% a month. Well, y'all do the math on that, and we're still 8% higher than we were a June ago.
Yeah.
So in 1 year, we're up 8%, but in 1 month, we're up 1%. So if you're waiting on prices to come down, it's not happening, y'all.
If the prices were able to survive what happened when rates got up to close, even past 8%, then prices
they're not. It's not going to happen.
Tell me the catalyst that you think is going to happen that's going to make rates drop. And if anybody wants to have this conversation, I would love to have it with you.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Tell me what you think is going to happen. I don't care who wins the election. I don't care what.
That's right.
Tell me
I was going to say, don't give me some BS about, well, if such and such wins, then
tell me
it's not going to happen.
Think it's going to make rates drop, or how home prices come down. And I just can't. I can't.
It's not going to happen. So, and what's going to happen though is that if we do see significant rate drops, if we do touch the fives, for example, then we will see more demand come in, and it'll exacerbate this problem.
Right.
If we're seeing less activity and prices still going up, if activity goes up,
right
now the wild card here is what's the magic number? Okay, now think about this: your pent up supply.
Right.
Okay.
There's pent up demand, but there's some pent up supply.
There's a lot of pent up supply. There's a whole lot of people that are sitting in their houses somewhat uncomfortably.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But they're saying, dude, I'm at a 2.5-3% interest rate. I can't afford to move because my interest rate is 7. It's double.
Yeah.
Right? What is the magic number? And I don't know the answer to this. What's the magic number to get those people to say, okay, I can finally afford to shake off this uncomfortable and move to somewhere else and afford to buy something that's bigger, better, whatever, right? And give up my 2.5% rate. That's the key, right?
This is purely just my thought, and I've thought about this a little bit, and I think that number the number is kind of dependent on other factors like stability in the economy, confidence in continued employment, and things like that.
Keeping their job.
Are going to play into the decision. So increases in incomes, I think you've got to look at like, well, what's the cost of a living? Because it's even harder to as this has taken time to unfold, and these prices for just cost of goods have set in. It's going to be harder to swing a mortgage payment that's significantly higher than it would have been 2 or 3 years ago, when a gallon of milk costs what it costs now, when gas costs what it costs now.
I filled my truck up yesterday. It was $100.
Yeah, and I mean you've got a big tank in your truck, but yeah, that's not uncommon at all. So I think there's more to it than just psychology of letting that rate go at this point in the game. I think there's also conversations that are being had about, okay, well, what's our total cost of living? What's our total budget look like? But I think that to get back to the question, I think it's mid-5s where people start to feel comfortable having the conversation of, are we ready to move? Are we ready to sacrifice things that we need to give up to be able to have a more comfortable living space? And I think that you can start to have that conversation if you're talking about going from the low 3s to the mid-5s.
So then I want you to think about this for a second. If the magic rate to get a buyer off the fence, right, somebody that doesn't have a house to sell, is, I think we all pretty much agree that we're going to see some of that pent-up demand start to unfold mid to low to mid 6s.
Yeah.
Okay. But if the magic number to get the pent up supply on the market, right, to get the sellers to come to the market is in the mid 5s, which I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think you're probably spot on. We have a 1% gap right there.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen when we hit this one, but we don't hit this one? Prices are going to go through the freaking roof.
Yeah.
And we're going to see multiple offers. We're going to see all of that stuff.
Well, and that might be where you see some of the people who are a little bit more savvy, a little bit have a little bit more disposable income, say, hey, okay, maybe now's the time for us to go. And maybe they can unlock that supply at 6% because they see what they're able to get for their house, and they see the tea leaves, and they see what's about to happen at the price point that they're trying to get to, if they're trying to get to that price point at the same time as everybody else.
And generally speaking, and I don't know if this is going to fit this model or not, but generally speaking, your lower price point homes move more, right?
Right.
I mean, take the nothing under 200 right now,
Right,
basically, right? Your lower price point homes move more and more quickly than your upper ones as far as price appreciation,
Yeah.
right? So, the move up buy is going to be spectacular. But I think we're also going to see something else that we've been seeing a little bit of, but I think we're going to see a lot of it, and that's people leaving Rutherford County.
Yeah.
Now, there will be plenty of people coming in,
Plenty.
but that means the face of Rutherford County changes.
Yes.
Your lifetime residents, there's going to be fewer of them,
Yeah.
unless they've stayed put.
That's been the case for a long time.
But I think it's going to get worse.
I think the lifetime residents are going to be more likely to stay, and it'll be the people who moved here 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They're going to be the ones who find their next home outside of Rutherford County.
Hey, and Coffee County's looking good, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've got some folks moving to Manchester.
Hey.
I've moved several folks to Manchester.
Since we're in the pro tip section of the show, don't sleep on Cannon County. When it comes to programs like Home Ready, THDA, Cannon County carries the same. Sorry, hit my microphone. Cannon County carries the same income limits as Rutherford County, Williamson County, Wilson-Davidson. So Cannon County is lumped into that Nashville MSA, so you're able to get a lot more bang for buck going into that market and using any of those down payment assistance or first-time home buyer programs.
But you just can't get there from here.
Woodbury Highway.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I like DeKalb.
John Bragg Highway. Sorry, John Bragg Highway.
I like DeKalb better, just simply because you got interstate access.
But you don't get the
know.
lift. You're going to be you're going to be constricted on your income limits in DeKalb County, and that's where that little bubble there in Cannon County that carries the same income limits as Rutherford.
Yeah. All right, there you go. That's good. That's a good conversation right there.
I was thinking as we're having the conversation, like who watches our show, who would be, and really it's just anybody who's got a little bit of time to kill and wants to see two guys that have some experience in the industry, just kind of shoot the breeze about what's going on in the market, and that's what we do.
Yeah, we do shoot the breeze. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or expel hot air. I'm not sure
Maybe,
which one.
Maybe you find a little bit of humor in what we say. Maybe you just watch it and laugh at us and make fun of us.
Yeah. You remember that Adam Sandler? They're all going to laugh at you. I love that. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. All right. Where are we at in the show? Because I feel like we jumped over some stuff.
Shiny Penny.
We did. We jumped over Shiny Penny. So let's have some intro music for Shiny Penny, and then we'll wrap it up.
We got to work on this music.
I think it's great.
I like the music.
No, I want like cha-ching. I want like sound effects, or like the opening sound of money. Money.
I was just that popped in my mind as soon as you said that too. But I think you run into some copyright rules, right, Trent? Is that
You absolutely do.
Not for saying cha-ching.
Oh,
not for saying? Remember the old was it Hardee's commercials? Cha-ching, the guy with the register. No, it wasn't even fast food. It was a guy that worked at a fast food restaurant. I can't remember what they was commercials for, but he'd go cha-ching, cha-ching. Nobody.
I'm usually pretty good at the obscure references, but you got me on that one.
So anyway, but no, when you said Murfreesboro's suburb, I was like rocking the suburbs. You know, like some Ben Folds.
Yeah.
Is that Trent? Is that something that you can pay to ASCAP and BMI and be able to include music on podcasts, or is it still a no-go?
probably.
Whoever
I mean,
owns
it
the song
probably
has to say
wouldn't.
yes.
We could probably like acknowledge it in the credits and get away with it.
Yeah, we're not going to go with probablys.
No, I don't know that. I mean, I think you have to pay royalties.
You do.
You have to.
If we
to-
make money, you do for sure.
It'll get
I tried to get Vagabond Train to pick up some Ben Folds because they play the keyboard and
Yeah.
stuff. Bob does, and he's like, I don't know Ben Folds, and I was like, well, you need to go listen.
Yeah. All right. So, Shiny Penny, man. So, a little bit of humble brag here. I'm nominated for a Ruthie, but man, there's a lot of great businesses.
Me too.
That are
And Cedar
nominated for Ruthies. And so, today's the last day of voting. So, if you're watching this on delay, this does not apply to you. But if you're watching this real time or you pick it up later on this afternoon, take a few minutes of your time and pull up the Ruthies ballot and just go through each one of the categories. And if you don't want to vote for me, don't vote for me. There's a lot of great mortgage people that are also nominated. But go through and pick out your favorite businesses and show them some love. You know, I kind of scoff at Ruthies sometimes in these awards. Think there's too many of them, but man, the Ruthies is the one that's been around the longest, and it's stood the test of time. And I think there's a lot of, when you win a Ruthie, if you win a Ruthie, you carry a little bit of pride with that. So there's some good businesses that deserve your vote.
Yeah, and I've been nominated every year, just about, that I've been an agent, and I struggle with people that politic for it.
I do too.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't bring myself to ask for the vote, and I should probably.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're necessarily a bad person to ask for it, but some people like hammer it on socials.
I've never asked to be nominated. I've never gone out there and stumped for the nomination, but I did get nominated this year, and so I am kind of putting myself out there and asking for the vote. It feels uncomfortable. I don't like doing it, but I say, hey, you know what? I didn't go out there and like nominate myself and make sure that I got that. So it came from someone else who, and then people who felt some confidence in giving me their vote to even get me into the finalists category.
I don't even know how to nominate somebody.
Yeah. So that being said, but not to make it just about me, but really shine that shiny penny, shine that light on all these other companies and all these other businesses. And some of them, man, it's tough to decide on who to vote for, because you're looking at them and it's like favorite barbecue restaurant. There's some really good barbecue restaurants in this town now.
Yeah.
We hadn't had that for a while.
Yeah.
And so it's good stuff.
All right, I'm gonna close this out with one question, and it dovetails perfectly on what you were just saying. I posed the question on my socials the other day, and I got some good responses. Do you view, Bryan Nale, do you view franchises as local businesses? So let's pretend that Jonathan Harmon goes out and buys a
Bellacino's.
Sure. Ooh, man, I love Bellacino's. Good call.
Go to Mount Juliet. You can still have it.
I know. And I buy a Bellacino's franchise and I build it in Murfreesboro. Is that a local business in your eyes?
I think it's almost like to me it's a separation, because it's very hard as just your average consumer know the difference between what this one's corporate owned and this one's franchise owned. Look at the Doghouse Beer Garden. That was a local franchise owner who had it, ran it to the ground, and when it closed for 2 months. It comes back. Now it's corporate owned. They're doing everything right, running it the right way, but it's not successful because of the tarnishment that it had. The general public did not connect the dots, or disconnect the dots, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say yes, but there's a caveat to it that for most people, they don't know the difference.
So here's my dividing line, and I look at it like this. Do you function as a local business? Okay, that's how I decide, right? So Jonathan Harmon opens Bellacinos. I look at our local Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great example.
Get involved in the community as if you are a local business?
Yeah.
Or do you run it like a corporate store?
Yeah.
That's my deciding factor.
And so the answer is different for every business. And if somebody would ask you that question, you would say it depends on the owner's philosophy.
That's right. Do you sponsor little league teams? Do you show up at nonprofit events? Do you participate in the chamber? All of those things.
Or do you just say, I'll run that by corporate and never say yes to anything?
Yes, exactly. Or do you, even worse, do you do nothing?
Yeah.
Because you just let the name of your business carry you?
Yeah.
That's how I decide.
Great answer.
Shout out to Jonathan McGuire.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up here.
Yeah. Jonathan McGuire, McGuire Management owns like 4,000 McDonald's. It's not really, but it's a whole bunch of them. And he's a good dude. He participates.
Dad owned one before him.
Yep. They owned it together. He participates with MTSU. He participates in all kinds of things in the community. They sponsor everything under the sun.
Yeah.
His employees get
Yep. He's a pretty good dude.
Yeah.
So, and he's a smart guy.
And there are people who are small business owners who don't do anything in our community either.
That's true too.
Oh, I opened up a wound with Missy over there.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
True, though. That is
If
very
you didn't
true.
hear that, she said, and I quote, and there are small business owners that don't do anything in our community, so maybe they shouldn't be counted either. I added that part, but anyway,
That's what I meant.
that's what she meant, she
Yep.
says.
She is endorsing your addition to her claim.
Yeah, and I approve this message. All right, that's it. You got anything else?
I'm set. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, it's, hey, go on to Cedar Glade socials, okay? Speaking of local business, I just posted a ton of events that we have coming up. I got that up to speed because that's how it goes onto our website, including our inaugural Oktoberfest celebration at Cedar Glade.
So pumped up for this.
Oh, dude, we're going to have a tricycle Grand Prix. It's going to be epic.
That's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be epic. All right, that's all I got to say about that. Trent, do we need to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, the 1200 Club's still going strong. Mary Fugit, Casey Broach with KK Fitness, Philip Byer, Music City Hardscapes, Adams and Swan stepping up.
Thank you guys.
Shouts to Pete and Travis over at Adams and Swan. Looking forward to getting them in here. And yeah, it's we're growing, so good stuff on deck.
All right, well, when you do good things and people know about it, good things happen.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you to those folks and everybody else, especially you two as well. Thank you for everything.
All right, that's it. That's all we got. Have a good rest of the week. Talk to you again next week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, your go-to resource for all things real estate in Middle Tennessee. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. We will see y'all on the next one.
Now for the nitty-gritty. Primis Mortgage Company is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC. Primis Mortgage NMLS number 1894879, BK number 1042893, ML number 1894879. As always, all loans are subject to credit approval and product guidelines. Equal housing lender.